Hello everyone, it is great to see you. Today we're actually going to a very special place in the United States. I'm very excited to be able to share this with you. Today we are looking at a place in the United States famous for a song actually, Sweet Home Alabama. Yes, that is correct. Today we are going to Alabama. We're diving into its historical significance. We're going to be looking at three major places in it in terms of the Native Americans and the European colonism, and then the U.S. expansion through the Civil War. So three places that we're going to be looking at. Let's go right in. We'll go in chronological order today. But before that, just an overview of Alabama. Alabama is right here. It is a southeastern state. It is famous for the American Civil Rights Movement that I unfortunately will not be able to cover in very big depth today because we're looking at 3 points, but this I think really deserves a whole different video. So just have that in mind. But very beautiful state, just amazing. Just look at that. Look at all of this, just stunningly beautiful, right? Very glad to be able to share this with you. Let's jump right in. Today we're going to be looking at, first of all, the indigenous civilizations. What we're going to be visiting firstly is the Moundville archaeological site. The Moundville archaeological site was actually, this is a park, and so you'll be able to see these kind of things better, I think, through these pictures. But the Moundville archaeological site basically dates back all the way to 1000 CE. So near this Black Warrior River, we will find the river. There's a lake right next to it, if you see here. This is the Black Warrior River that goes like thus, and the park is located right here. And so this Moundville was actually the second largest political and ceremonial center of the Mississippian culture. So along the Mississippi that goes somewhere like this, along this whole region, second largest is huge, right? And so this was actually a very, very huge site, and there is over 29 earthen mounds that surround a central plaza that was likely served as a platform for temples. Let us see a bit into the images here. Yeah, so it looks like this. There's a central plaza here, and then what used to be houses surrounding it. And so this is likely thought to be something that serves as a platform for temples, for elites' residence, and also as burial sites. So very interesting. The society, it is said by historians, was highly stratified, that there was organized labor, there were trained neckers, and also even astronomy and religion, judging by the temples that are kind of way high up here. And you see this high kind of arisen place here that you can even look at in here as well. Very beautiful. And so very interesting place to look at. In terms of cultural legacy, lots of artifacts found. There were actually jewelries like this and copper work, pottery, all this that shows trades across the Southeast and the Midwest that connects them to other indigenous centers as well. And this Moundville is thought to be abandoned by 1500 CE, possibly because of internal problems, maybe they have a strife, or because of environmental problems. But the area actually continued to be inhabited by descendants of the Muskogean-speaking people, so the Choctaw and the Creeks. And today, in terms of present-day significance, it serves as one of the key places to understanding pre-Columbian. It is called Native American civilization, and this site is sacred to modern indigenous nation and serves as a key reference to many historians as well for Native history in the Southeast. Very beautiful place here. So yeah, and it reenacts a bit about how it must have looked like. And so uses a lot of historical evidence. Beautiful, beautiful here in its landscape as well. And so definitely worth the visit, I would say. And yeah, very, very stunningly beautiful. Okay, let's move on to our second place. To right now, we looked at all the way back in 1000 CE. Let's jump like 700 years after that, quite a gap. To right now, let's go right into the colonial, the very early stages of the United States. We are looking at the 1700s. Okay, so colonial struggles, Mobile, and the Gulf Coast. So, oh, that accent was very interesting. Mobile and the Gulf. I don't know if you pronounced it Mobile or Mobile, but it is. I thought they would show up together, but maybe we have to divide this like so. Okay, let's start with Mobile. It is the first capital of Louisiana. Very beautiful. Of French Louisiana. We look at the state Louisiana last week, but the first capital of French Louisiana, and this was actually established in 1702, way back, by a French colonizer. And the French introduced a lot of the fur trading posts, African slavery, Catholic missions, and also introduced a lot of concepts about free people of color, and it continues to connect New Orleans and Quebec inland, through inland rivers and ocean routes. Very significant here. But during the British period is also very significant because in 1763, after French lost the 7 Years' War with the Louisiana kind of purchase as we know it, even before that, the British took over this place and renamed it the British West Florida. And so British invested in here a lot of agriculture and trading posts, very significant historically today. And let us visit just a bit into it. And we also see the French grid system here as well from what we saw in Louisiana. Very beautiful architecture, by the way, very beautiful. And Spain actually, after that, captured Mobile during the American Revolution and then took control of it until 1813. And then, so it has also a lot of cultural mixtures. It has the French influence, Spanish influence, the United States influence, that is the British influence. And so Mobile is one of the few U.S. cities to have been ruled by France, Britain, Spain, and the United States. So, very interesting. And its architecture, street names, and multicultural heritage continue to show us a lot about its path, also talk about its colonial past, quite sadly, but today it remains a beautiful city, a beautiful place to live, absolutely stunning. And yeah, so just a few things about it. It has architecture and street names that continue to reflect upon these kind of influences. And so if we just saw M Royal, I'm supposing that is British influence. We have St. Francis, that could be both British and French. I'm not sure about that. Let's look at another street. That's very interesting. Okay, let's come out this way. What is this named? North Water State. So maybe you should move to another part. Let's see, should we go here? Does this place have a road name? Yeah. Roper Street? Possibly. I'm not sure, but these influences continue to show us their multicultural history and significant colonialist history as well. Very interesting. Okay, let's jump ahead to the 1800s now. This is what the history that a lot of us are familiar with. A lot of us are kind of feeling it to this day. We are looking at slavery and civil rights. So we're going to Montgomery. First of all, let's go to Montgomery. I think if you have studied U.S. history, it's kind of difficult not to remember Montgomery because it's so many significant things happened right here in Montgomery. So let's dive right in. So Alabama became an official state of the United States in 1819, and a lot of its native lands were seized with the Indian Removal Acts in the 1830s, and so um, the state became the it became a place for white elites to live, a massive where massive wealth was accumulated here. And during the Civil War, actually, Montgomery first served as the capital of the Confederacy in 1861 before it was moved to Richmond. So very interesting in terms of government history as well. And the Confederate Constitution during the Civil War was drafted here, and really Alabama was a significant port socially in terms of the secession and the rise against slavery. So very interesting. Alabama saw lots of battles and raids. Most importantly, it was symbolic of white Southern nationalism. Did I just say against slavery? I'm so sorry for so this was a port with a lot of very rich white individuals living, and some of their wealth was accumulated with enslaved people's labor, and so they did not want to give that up easily. And even after the emancipation, after the Civil War, Black Alabamians still had lots of barriers to become politically active. They were quickly disenfranchised by laws and violence that met them, especially with the Jim Crow law. Became very difficult for them to become integrated into society as a politically and socially active person. And so even white supremacist groups, as we know it, like the KKK, were arisen here in Alabama, and so lots of segregation here, lots of history with racial terror. And then this place actually became a significant part of the civil rights movement in the 1950s to the 1970s, and so became the central place to the Montgomery bus boycott led by Rosa Parks in 1955 to 1956, right here. And so it was also led by young Dr. Martin Luther King, and these Montgomery marches actually pressured Congress into granting more rights to people of color. And so very important here. Alabama is a city that symbolizes a lot of resistance and repression, but also hope and continued work in the legal and cultural sector in order to gain equal rights. So very, very significant place here. I want to show you a bit more Montgomery, pictures here. Yeah, very beautiful place, the center of education as well today, so very important for us to understand that. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. It was great to be able to talk to you about Alabama, and I covered extensively about this place in particular, about Dr. Martin Luther King's sites, the historical significance, places in his life, and so visit that if you are more interested in these stories. Thank you so much for watching. I've never actually been to Alabama, but it seems like a lovely, lovely place, and I'm so very excited to be able to share this with you. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that you will continue to stay curious and learn more and more about these different states. Thank you so much, and have an amazing day. Bye.